Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And it seems that this is a men's world video, pretty much 100% men's world. And we're gonna go over this video clip that this black woman kind of went over and explains exactly what's going on in modern day society and how men are treated. Now, I know there's some women that watch my videos normally, probably don't know about it, and I have been going on some women and stuff like that on my videos. But it's to show context and to show what the reality that we're in. So, without further ado, let's join the men's world, get into it, because we're going to see the video that shows.
Our culture as black people, when the boys turn a certain age, the men come and get him and take him away from the mother because she can emotionally manipulate him. But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
And that is true. That is true. Look at the realities that we see here, and everything that we have with evidence and stuff like that, with particularly with the divorce rates, the amount of violence that's been happening, the amount of single mothers that are coming into place, and all this other stuff that we've seen. And the thing is that we have seen the stats to where single mother households have easily destroyed a lot of men in particular, or even women for that matter, where they have destroyed the realities of the family household. We have media and society telling women that they can go out and get used up, they can go out and do all this other stuff, and essentially harm themselves, and it thinks it's okay. And then particularly with the black community, it happens obviously in white communities as well, don't get me wrong, but particularly with the black community, we have so many black women that are single mothers that demean the young boys, put the young boys down, treats them like actual legitimate garbage, and then you wonder why we have so many black people, specifically black men, become criminals. The single mothers in the black community is insanity. And we want to come out and say that, like, oh, well, it's the men's problem. Have you realized, or what have you done that you have treated the young boys? Have you realized that, are you treating the black men nicely? Are you being feminine? Are you keeping control of your body weight? Are you being an actual female? And in today's society, we just demean men constantly over and over and over again. And this is something that I think women will never ever have to understand or deal with, because women don't live in that reality. Women are born with pretty much privilege straight out the womb. They are expected nothing from them. Whereas a man in this instance, if he is born and he is straight out of the womb, he's expected from day one to pretty much do things that is inconceivable for any person. The day he hits 18, there's nobody helping him. There's constantly people attacking him and all this stuff. And this is another reason why I also think that white men in particular, to where they go out, and the reason why there's so many shooters of specifically white men is because the way men are treated, which hits every race pretty much. And then you have where you have society today are hating on white people. So you have white men getting hated because, well, they're men, and then you have them being hated because of their race. And then you start to wonder why there's so many mass shooters that happen to be white people. Like, it's kind of insane, really, that where you're just gonna keep on beating them. We have women that want to remove Father's Day. You have want to just be International Women's Day. Men are constantly beaten down so much psychologically that it's insane. See, the thing is that we don't seem to realize is that Women won't hurt men physically because it's almost impossible for women to hurt a man physically. However, mentally, psychology-wise, they can very easily break a man because mentally, that is the women's strength. And we don't talk about the actual mental abuse that women do to their significant others because we only report or see what our eyes show us. The damage that we see physically in the physical realm, we see that as, okay, we see you have bruises, we see that you have a black eye, etc. We see the physical damage. We don't see the invisible non-damage that is going up in the head here. And women constantly abuse men. It fits psychologically. It's a natural reality. When we go down to, like, we could say incels, okay, why are there incels? Well, it's probably because majority of women from the age of pretty much, I would say 16 through 18, mostly, don't look as men as actual good mates. Because majority of the time that women want men to be in the range of between 80 to 100K. Well, by the way, I hate to break it to you, women, and pretty much in general, no man that's in the age of 18 to all the way to maybe even 35 is even coming close to making that. It will take them maybe 27, 28 before they get a job or a career that they may land a job that makes them get 70 to 80K a year. That's being lucky. Men don't start building themselves until 30, 35 years old. And you wonder why when men go out and get this money and they don't have, sex or anything for that period of time, or reason why they remain incels, is because because women don't want to mate with them. They don't want to have any relations with the man because they don't see him as applicable. They don't see him as a good catch. So instead, the women will go out and bang all the dudes that are essentially in their 30s, sometimes 40s, and somewhere close in the range that have, money, the 1% of men, and then they want the men that actually built themselves up, or rather, the good men that won't use them when the women are all used up. This is just the reality of what it is. And we have so many women that just use their privilege, use their beauty against them, which is all fine and dandy. Go ahead and do that, and nobody's going to complain that's the case or that's a problem. However, we are going to say there are consequences to those actions, and there are things that you do that harm you. There's a reason why the marriage rate is down, and there's a reason why divorce rates are down. Divorce rates are down because the marriage rates are down. You're not going to have a high. You're not going to really have your divorce rates are going to be low or not really moving because the marriage rates are significantly down. You have to have marriage in order for divorce to happen. That's just the reality. So yeah. We've come to a society where it's okay to demean men, put them down, call them incels, and think it's like, oh, that's okay. We can just call men incels, even though in the reality of everything, it's technically the women's fault because women won't go after these men. They won't go after men that are in 18 through 29, right? They won't go after them. They're invisible to them. And yet they also be overweight and wanting a man that's like has a decent paying job or what have you, while they don't work on themselves in order to get the man that they want, while also being used up. By the way, it's asinine. This is the reason why we have pretty much every demeaning word for a man possible, every demeaning word for a man. But when it comes to women, we don't have hardly any demeaning words for women, hardly at all. We keep up coming words that demean men. We don't have any words that demean women. And there's a huge problem with this. And there's a reason why, again, black women are the least desirable race out of all the other ones. And it's just fact. Take a look. So when we go out to see this stuff, why are men not coming to you? Why do men avoid you? Why do you not seem to be only having sexual relationships, but not actually keeping the man that you wanted? Maybe because you treat him badly. That's just a plain example. So again, we need to come to realization that our society is very messed up. And this black woman has come out and said exactly the most beautiful thing possible. Very strong men raise other strong men. Because that's just the way it is. We need men that father figures that will lead their sons to a better future, to understand life, where emotion's not involved, because because that's just the way it is. So, it's crazy. We have come to this society, and men are constantly being hated. All right. So, if anybody wants to say anything, I'm also an incel, but I don't care, because I don't care for women's actual aptitude. Maybe women should probably decrease their standards, become more feminine, and maybe lower their standards to the point to where they might be applicable to find a man. I don't care. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to better myself. That's all I care about. And if women come along, that's good. If not, who cares? That's just the reality that all men should have. Because you build yourself up, women will come to you. That's just a straight fact. But always work on yourself. Build yourself up. What else can you do? Society, I understand society hates you. Hates men. It's pretty given. But I digress. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care.